Hello Duelists, it's Tombox here, welcome to another MST.TV video, and today we're going to be talking about the Link Zone, mainly the field that's going to come from the upcoming format of the Master Rule Change. Now, one of the biggest questions that have come out of that is, how do you actually enforce zone placement and card placement, specifically to deal with all the new upcoming cards like Shut Line and Blasting Wire? Well, today's video we are going to cover that and several options that we can use to help us keep track of the field. Well, the first option is to play a mat that, well, has all the zones printed. There, problem solved. The end. Roll the credits, guys. Well, sure, that is one of the options, and that's the most direct solution to actually enforcing the zones. But then a lot of us tend to have mats, well, that don't have any zones whatsoever, and some of you guys prefer not to play with the zones altogether because you find that the zones are pretty cluttery and pretty ugly. And you know what? That is actually a fair point. So what do we do when it comes to playing a mat that looks more like this? Oh my god, it's a cloth mat, it's got no zones. Well, how do you actually enforce it? The second option is to use something called a center marker. So you can use an object to mark the center of where the very center zone of the mat actually exists. And that basically solves your problem. So now you can actually enforce your zone. Just note that your center marker should align with your opponent's center marker. It has to align because it's going to create a very confusing field if not, and judges are not going to appreciate how to rule certain cards. When you're like, oh man, my Blasting Wire can hit his card. Well, you're actually in the wrong zone. It prevents all this unnecessary argument while being able to continue to play with your beautiful mats that you guys have. So here's some recommendations on items that you should use as a center marker. So for instance, you can use a die, because most people do carry a die in their case, and just put it right in front of their center zone so that you know that the left and the right would be where the Link, the extra monster zones would exist. Another thing to use would be an empty sleeve of a different color, because this way it actually won't confuse your opponent saying that's an actual card on the field. Just make sure that the sleeve is empty, or maybe if you do have something in the sleeve, make sure it's just a piece of artwork that does not get misrepresented as an actual card. So I don't know, you can try to use like a Pokemon card or something. Some judges don't actually allow card games of other nature to be played onto the field, but as a marker, I don't know, I would be a bit more forgiving in terms of just marking and keeping things easy for us to rule. But there are certain things that I don't recommend to use as a center marker, and I think most judges would agree on this. As for things I don't recommend for you to use as a center marker, well, something that's too clunky that it actually blocks your ability to play, don't use anything that's Yu-Gi-Oh card related. Don't use tokens, don't use World Prize cards, don't use their replicas, don't use OCG cards, don't use ban cards, mainly because this can actually misrepresent the game state for you and your opponent. Just look at it here. If I put a token right there, it just looks like I have a monster on the field at all times. And if I accidentally use it to actually create a Link monster, if I Link summon with that monster, and then several turns later I realize, oh my god, I made a huge mistake, and your opponent might have a difficult time to catch on to it because you use a token or a monster to basically fill that center marker role. Yeah, you're gonna get a procedural error. That's probably gonna be a game loss because it might result in an irreparable game state, and you don't want that to happen. Now, if you're gonna use a sleeve, I do recommend not using the sleeve of the same color, and preferably use something that's slightly larger than your regular sleeve. Another thing that you could technically use would be your deck divider, and then just put it onto the field, and then yeah, basically just keep it there. Use an empty sleeve for all I care. Use the back of a sleeve. But because if you use the back of a sleeve, what's confusing about it is if it's the same color as your deck, the problem is if you accidentally shuffle the card back in or that center marker back in, you would technically have a stacked deck because you would have a marker that's holding a position in your deck. And you could get called out for that. And if you draw into that card, you would probably get a game loss for it. So, we don't want to get game losses. We just want to use our mats. So, just use something that's pretty obvious. Use a little piece of cardboard for all I care. Or cut something out that's definitely not card shaped. But that's all up to you. Just keep it flat so, you can play a card on top of it as well. And that would be my recommendation. If you guys have other ways that you can keep track of the center or keep things aligned and keep things played properly, let me know down in the comment section below, because I would like to explore more methods and cleaner methods if there are more methods that you guys would like to share with me. All right, just as an added tip for you guys, as you can see in this field here, Yu-Gi-Oh! Basically has a lot of dedicated zones for different parts of the game, whether it be your main deck, the extra deck, the graveyard, and a lot of people tend to move their main deck, to where the graveyard is and put it horizontally so that they can draw easier. Okay, fair enough, but I would recommend you guys not to do that in the future, since zoning actually matters this much more now. And with the Link format, the new Master Rule change, and the whole field change, with all the column cards like Shut Line, Blasting Wire, and potentially even more cards coming out, a clean representation of the field is going to be very important, especially with link markers and everything pointing to, well, specific zones. And we need to keep everything clean. If there's a ruling dispute regarding columns, I believe I would rule in favor of the person with the cleaner field. And if you kept your center marker correct, or you kept your center aligned, there should be no issue with this. But if they're trying to activate a shut line to negate one of your cards, and then you're saying, my monster's not even on that zone, but then your whole field is a giant mess, and like you're playing basically your own version of the field, yeah, definitely going to be ruling in favor of the person with the cleaner field, with more accurate use of, well, the playmat basically. So yeah, that's a thing too. And if judges enforce you to basically use the zones, you have to do it. If you don't comply to their rules, well, basically they are going to issue you a penalty of unsporting conduct, which could be a game loss or something even more severe. So just a tip for you guys, don't want to get yourself screwed over. And that's basically all I got for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys enjoyed it, hit me up with a like. Just a quick announcement here. I am going down to WCQ, and I'm probably going down there currently right now. This is a pre-recorded video, of course, and set to schedule and upload to show you guys. But yeah, if you guys see me down in Chicago, I will be competing in the main event on Friday. Probably to be doing some side events just to warm myself up, get some practice. And well, yeah, if you guys do see me, please say hello. Maybe I'll have some surprises for you. Maybe I'll sign some stuff for you. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna tell you everything. But if you guys know a good bar or two, or like some good food, hit me up. I would love to check out the area. And it's actually my first time down in Chicago too, so it'd be a nice experience. But as always, there's also Oscar. There's also the rest of the BC crew, the YGO fam. Hopefully you'll see some of the players that were previously featured on this channel as well. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit me up with a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, please hit the subscribe button. Maybe we'll get that WCQ vlog, maybe catch a couple deck profiles. Let's hope I get that lucky, because I hear videos, yeah, people do get kicked out. This is not Europe where they're a lot more friendly. They're not as friendly in this area. That's unfortunate. But anyways, I'm going to proceed to the end phase. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job, and you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.